to play now. Put me in the game now. I came here to prove it, I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. I'm ready to do this, show you what the truth is. I step on the field, it's time to get real, I'm feeling so ruthless.
And after a quick Easter break, we're back in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'm Corey Hammond, and I want to introduce you to Brana Marks, and we will be bringing you one of the most anticipated matchups of the 2026 A7FL Young season. The Trenton BIC versus the Silk City Animals. This is a matchup that we've been waiting for since the big game, week 1, BIC the U. Shout outs to the Phantoms. Beat that U. Brana, we'll talk about that later. But first, let's look at the defending champs, some's favorite in this game, but the Trenton BIC. And they're going to be led with their playmaker, Brana, a guy that you talked to, Ashante Worthy, as you see here, making some big plays for their offense.
Yeah, Ashante could do it all, and I did talk to him, man, a few words, but he is about that action, okay? He said playing with his brothers is really what motivates him every Sunday, and he plays a little bit of everything, right? He could throw it as a quarterback. He could receive it in the end zone. He can run it on his feet. He can really do anything, and his team can rely on him for any kind of big action that leads them to a win.
And his running mate in the wide receiving core, it's pictured here, Kason Campbell, broke records last year as one of the most prolific receivers of the ball. He's going to be rounding out the receiving core with another speed demon in Jason SZN. He's almost too quick to talk about in the highlight, but none more important for this BIC offense than their quarterback, reigning MVP Sterry Codrington, who you've seen him throw it on all those plays, but also has the legs to be dangerous. And when you were watching film of this BIC offense, there's GT, get out of his way. When you were watching this BIC offense and some of the games that you were watching to prep, what was the thing that stood out to you watching them play this version of football?
Yeah, BIC just has a lot of weapons, and they seem to have a lot of chemistry. It's something that Ashante also told me about, that, you know, they play together, and that's what's going to win these kind of football games. When you're out there, no pads, no protection, it's just you and your guys, you need to rely on each other to protect each other and to make those big plays that get you points on the board.
Well, on the other side of that offense is going to be a revamped Animals defense led by a lot of guys, but one of them, one of the leaders of this team, Jeff LaPera. That's not legal. He's not going to be here today. He'll be replaced by a lot of guys that are going to have to step up, Brana. One of them, that's the mean machine, Nick Mays, who from Baltimore is going to come up, and he's going to bring a running mate in the Wolverine to fill in that linebacker spot. And as you'll see here, they're also in the defensive secondary led by Rob Long. He has 2 interceptions that you'll see here on this highlight from a couple weeks ago. He led the league in interceptions last year, and if the Animals really want to be in this game, Brana, they're going to have to make enough defensive plays to give guys like their offensive stars, pictured here David Tender, the ability to make those plays and get those points on the board, because BIC can score, Animals can score. It's really going to be up to the defenses, but you also got a chance to talk to some of the Animals guys, and one of those guys is the all-everything quarterback for the Silk City Animals. Pictured here, number 7, David Tender. What was some of the things that you got from him and from watching his film?
Yeah, what would the Animals do without a player like David Tender? Like you see here, he knows when to take it to the house on his own, and he knows how to be a leader for this Animals team. He's playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He told me he's 0-2 against BIC, but that's not going to get in his head too much. They have respect for that team and this rivalry that is going to play itself out today, but being undefeated is something that he said you just got to stay locked in. I think he's locked in.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I have zero doubts about this game, and it looks like we're getting ready as we watch the rest of these Animals highlights. We're getting ready for a 3-on-1 throw-off. It looks like the Animals will start with the ball. It's going to be Larry Wingo, number 11, back to receive. And Brona, we've waited long enough after that week 3 hiatus. Shout outs to everybody celebrating Passover and Easter, but we're back where we belong on Sundays, Asbury Park. The wind is blowing in Ashante Worthy's face, and we're about to get one of the most exciting plays in all of football. And that's Ashante Worthy on the throw. For fans new to this league, as I was telling Brona, the ball has to travel in the air past the 25 to be an eligible returnable kick. And with the wind blowing the American flag into the face of BIC, that is going to be an early test for the defending champ. Here's the throw.
Yeah, the wind's no joke, so Worthy's going to really have to use that arm to get it deep.
And he gets it far enough. Here's Wingo. And that's Trey Cohen. He can do pretty much anything you ask him to do. And when you go at this 3-on-1, you think, hey, I'll go for the smallest guy. Usually a mistake, but that'll bring David Tender and the Animals out for 1st and 10.
David Tender is going to have to look to make up the fact that they really didn't gain any yardage on that throw off right there. So he's definitely going to bring his team in and see what they can do against such a competitive team like BIC.
And down on the field, Matt Riddick, who had, some would say, some big interceptions in the national championship game last year. He's at the bottom of your screen, number 3, playing corner on Kasim Perry.
Here's Tender in the shotgun. Hands it off to his man. Finds the hole, getting tackled. He's going to get down. He's trying to. But he's down. That's really no gain.
Looks like Kwani Morgan on the run. The Animals like to run a 2 running back offense. They use Amari Thomas. We saw him a lot featured in the highlight clip at the beginning of the game. That's their pretty much their slashing threat. He's going to run those zone-type reads, and you see he gets a little bit of space here for a good run on 1st down for 4, which will bring up approximately 2nd and 6. And Tender has Wingo and Perry at the top in the twins. See, here's the replay. Great tackle there in open field.
Wasn't going to let him go anywhere with that one. Really good defensive play.
Here's a motion, Tender.
Tender going long.
Got a man.
Found his man, and he's going 30, 20, 10. Can they catch him? Nope.
Wingo makes the move on Riddick.
Right into the end zone, and we have a touchdown already, folks.
Oh, and he's going to lay down.
Put him to sleep. It's early, but it's nap time.
Well, he's going to have to play a lot more in this game, but no better way to get started if you're David Tender and the Silk City Animals. Basically taking advantage of, Brona, there's no better way to say this.
Yeah.
That was just completely blown coverage.
Amazing.
And a terrible attempt made by the fast enough Matt Riddick, who is known for his coverage, not his tackling skills. And look here. Tender's just giving a gift with a wide open receiver in the middle of the field. I think he gets his eyes on the crosser. Riddick is looking for the interception, something that he did against the Insomniacs. And my friend, I'm not going to drop his name and talk about his interceptions on a game that he's not involved in, Scott Hamilton. But that time, the jump on the lower route does not work out for Matt Riddick. He could have had an interception, gave up a touchdown. Silk City up 6-0 early. And they'll go for 2 from the 10-yard line. This was what we were talking about. This after a touchdown, these are the championship points because these are going to factor in big later on in this game.
Here goes Tender. Got some time, got a man, but not able to make it land.
And Kasim Perry could have maybe stabbed an arm at it, but it falls incomplete. And very quickly, our score changes 6-0 Animals. And after that, maybe Matt Riddick's going to want to get taped up. And athletes at every level trust Tape Me Up for professional athletic training and taping services from ankles to cleats. Trainer Steve has got you pre-wrapped, taped, and covered. Visit tapemeup.net for more, or scan the QR code. Kids know how to do that. I can't do it right now. But scan the QR code and get Trainer Steve and tape me up. Taped up like a pro. So, a lot of action. Not a lot of time in this game. 13-32. Still left in the first quarter, and the Animals take advantage of a blown coverage on 2nd and 6, 2 offensive plays, 6 offensive points. But that means that on a 3-on-1, they're going to have to throw it off to Ashante Worthy. And here's the throw. And it will travel far enough, so this is a live ball.
And that's the threat that you don't want to take on in a 3-on-1. He's going to break some tackles.
Oh, and
get some really good field advantage for his team. That is definitely what Ashante Worthy does.
And hey, listen, any tackle on Ashante Worthy on a 3-on-1 is a good tackle because you keep points off the board. But that is pretty good field position for BIC to start 1st and 10 at their own 45, and we'll get to see their offense. We talked a lot about it. Here's the return and just the dynamic ability in space make people miss Ashante Worthy.
Breaks the first few.
Those are no slouches.
But his man puts him down.
That's a bunch of really good A7FL players he's making look like they don't know what they're doing. They for sure do. That's Kyle Ward and Divine Epps, but that's also Ashante Worthy. 1st and 10, trips to the top of your screen, Sterry Codrington. And we'll get our first flag of the game.
Looks like we got a penalty.
Sterry will correct the ref for incorrectly calling the play, maybe. I'm not sure. Oh no, they're just going to talk about their plans after the game run.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll see that a lot in the A7FL.
He's definitely going to figure out, try to just fight for his side, for his team.
He wins. Ace attorney Sterry Codrington waves the flag off, and Ken Stansbury furthers the point to get us right back to 1st and 10.
Sterry makes his case, closes it.
So trips to the top of your screen. Looks like got a case on Campbell sighting. Middle of the trips, Ashante Worthy. And the tight end, GT. Can't miss him. He's the big man, number 10. But here's Sterry.
Sterry looking for some options, getting the pressure, scrambling, makes the big throw. Who's going to receive it? That's an interception for the Animals.
And that's Rob Long. We talked about him pregame. He led the league last year in interceptions, one of the league leaders this year. And the errant throw from Sterry Codrington into the wind hangs a bit too much in the Animals. They're ready to win this game.
Rob Long is talking his talk. He had something similar happen against the Heathens not too long ago. I believe it was a pick 6 in that game.
And you see here, Sterry's just trying to keep the ball alive. And a lot of times, this is just a play that his receiver is just going to be better than the other. But with the wind in his face, Ashante can't get back to the ball. And it's a turnover and 1st and 10 for the Animals, looking to take a 2-score lead in this game. That's Kyle Ward in motion. They give it to him on the jet. Finds a seam, gets some space, gets good yardage on a jet.
Down around the 40.
Tackles made, looks like Q Bell.
Animals looking real comfortable with that 3-0 record currently.
Well, and we talked about David Tender's record against BIC in his tenure as the Animals quarterback. He has not yet beaten this team. Some of his best performances might have been in those losses, but as you talk to him, they're not here for any kind of runner-up trophies. They want not only to beat the defending champs, but solidify themselves with the U's loss as the #1 team, not only in everyone's hearts, but in the standings in the Northeast. 2nd and 2.
Here's Tender, some motion. Step back, looking for his guy right in the middle of the field. Looking to break a tackle.
And that's Ward again. Kyle Ward making his first appearance for the Animals this season. He's been one of the more dangerous threats as a wide receiver that's not been known to be with a roster only or consistently. Last year, played for the Renegades. Year before that, I think he was with BIC. Then he was with the U before that. He's a guy that's gotten around to different teams, but everywhere he goes, he's one of, if not the, one of the leading receivers, and you can see why here on that crossing route. David Tender liking his new weapon in Kyle Ward.
Yeah, just talking also about how much protection Tender has in the pocket. Here he goes again, all the time in the world. Looking for an option on the top of your screen. Here he goes, down immediately.
And as you talk about what kind of protection he has in the pocket, he has all the time in the world to find Quani Morgan on a check down that got so far downfield That's a flat route that got so far downfield. He is easily able to pick up the first down because he catches it 10 yards. Look at the time. Ole Bell has to check.
So much time.
Wide open Kwani Morgan, but he can't cover him in that space. And BIC, at least early, in trouble here. And on this drive, the Animals looking to take big-time control of this game. 9:45 left in the first. First and 10.
Animals just creeping up the field. Here they go again. Tender setting his men up. Looking for the option. Can't make the catch.
And they had a twins combination. Max protect. They bring up Kwani Morgan to protect against the extra rush. Tender had the time, and he had the open man, but he's just a little bit too underneath the out route. And it'll be an incompletion. I think Tender's first incompletion so far. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
We've seen Tender make those mistakes, though, this season. Throws it just a little bit too low. His man not able to come back and really pick it up. So those are mistakes they're going to have to really fix, because BIC hasn't scored yet, but they're not out of this game, okay? We got a long day ahead of us.
That's Kwani Morgan on the give.
Here he goes around. Good block. Looking for the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Animals.
And what Matt Riddick brings for you as a dangerous wide receiver and as a corner that can make interceptions. The Animals are going right at him, and he hasn't made 2 big tackles inside the 5, and both touchdowns go right through a 2-time MVP in Matt Beep Riddick. But look at this run. Look at the blocking in the middle of the field. And that's Isaac Negron, not somebody we've ever seen blocked. And although
leaves a huge
Matt Riddick has the
hole.
speed advantage there, somebody's got the quad advantage.
Yeah.
And it's the guy running in the end zone for the Animals.
Swats his defender off like a fly, bothering him, and gets right into the end zone score for his team.
12-0. Animals will go for 2 again from the 10.
Here's Tender. Boom! Can't bring it
Kassim
in!
Berry had it, and he doesn't bring it in. Those might come back to bite the Animals, but at least now, with 8:38 left in the first quarter, it's all Animals, 12-0. And if you are liking what you see here today and want to become part of this league and more than just a spectator, A7FL.com/owners. We'll be right back. Nothing. Silk City has a explosive and early lead here in this 3-0-2-1 matchup. And here's the throw off. Looks like Jason Sisson. This return brought to you by No Limit. Train smarter, recover faster.
Here
and as Jason Sisson is running faster, he recovers.
Shoes, moving, but he's gonna just get choked up right there at the 32 looks like.
No limit wearable biometric shorts deliver real-time performance data to train smarter and recover better. Scan the QR code for more information about this innovative technology to perform at your peak. No limit. Scan the QR code or visit nolimit.pro. And there's been no limit to the amount of yardage the Animals have been able to get when they've been on offense so far. And until that last play on offense for BIC, there was no limit to the amount of passes we expected Sterry Codrington to go without throwing a pick. Brona, that was his first interception since the calendar year 2024. Here's 1st and 10.
That one's going to haunt him. Let's see if he could get more accurate on this throw. Finds his man, getting some yardage here, down around the 50.
Trey Cohen finds him with a pressure in his face, gets right back on track, and Sterry Codrington shakes off the pick. And BIC is quickly on the move with an accurate throw there over a defender. That could have been a little bit dangerous, but even with the wind in his face, he makes the throw. Like I said, the reason, in my opinion, BIC was so hard to beat last year is they avoided turning the ball over that time on that last drive. His first interception since 2024. That's amazing.
Here's Sterry, pressure right in his face. Throws it to his big man. Can't hit it. Can't hold on to it. Stumbles out of bounds.
And some would say that there's a mismatch in size, but when you know the size of a man's heart and you know who that player is that hit GT on that last one, no question as to here's the pass from Codrington earlier in the drive with a man in his face. It's a well-placed ball.
Absolutely. Really good look by Sterry to his man.
Wolverine that hit GT knocked the ball out. So good to see the Baltimore product. I'd say he's a fun guy to play against, Brona, but that's kind of not true. He's a guy I respect a lot, but you certainly like to see other guys across the field. 2nd and 10.
Looks to fake it. Lots of pressure again. Finds him. Makes a catch.
That's Jason Sisson. And when he runs a crossing route, he's almost uncoverable with the amount of explosive acceleration he can find in and out of those routes. But good job from the Animals to make sure he doesn't turn that into an easy score. And going out of bounds will bring up a 3rd and short as the Animals are the ones who are almost moving the sticks. You should at least be trying to keep the sticks from moving. You guys are in control of the sticks yourselves.
Trying to make those few inches a little further out.
And this is when they go quarterback run with Sterry Codrington, but they're all over it.
If
I can read it from up here, they can read it on the field. And on 3rd and short, the Animals get a big play on 3rd down, bringing up 4th and 7.
That was too easy of a read.
Well, they telegraph it here. This is a play that they go in a pull. GT's not able to get there. And Sterry's suplexed in the hole. The Animals have showed up big, and I literally mean big. Some of these guys are on the defensive line I have not yet seen make the kind of impact they have so far today this season. So it'll bring up a big 4th and about 6 here for the BIC, already down 12-0.
What can Sterry do now under all this pressure, looking to convert for his team? Throws it long.
And he goes for Ashante Worthy and basically wants the Hollywood figure to bail him out. But it's Rob Long that knocks it down, and a turnover on downs. Animals up 12 with the ball, 1st and 10. And now the BIC sideline starting to look around like, wait, this is not how the script was supposed to go, Brona.
And Rob Long making his presence known. Had that interception earlier that you talked about, which was the first for Sterry, like you said, since 2024. Now he's getting under Ashante Worthy's skin, their best player, and he's making it, no, you're not going to play around here today. We got this.
1st and 10, David Tender in an empty backfield.
Here comes Tender. Lots of time per usual. Finds his man
It's
around
Kyle
the
Ward
35.
again over the middle of the field.
Carl
Kyle Ward.
Ward.
Wow. And listen, the throw is beautiful. The catch is an easy catch at that point when the route is that good to get open. But, Brana, you said it earlier, it's the blocking and the time Tender has in the pocket. Against a quarterback this good, you're just not doing it. It's not cutting it. BIC may be in trouble. There's still a lot of time left in this game. Animals have been working fast. 4:07 left. But it's getting pretty late, pretty early. And if they go down by 3 scores, BIC might be in a little bit of a hurry-up mode at a minimum.
Here's Tender with the spread. Short pass off, not going to work that time.
Kassim Perry doesn't make the catch in the flat. Probably doesn't get a lot of yards there, but it'll bring up 2nd and 10. One of the things that the Animals have been trying to do, Brona, all season is replace their #1 target at wide receiver from last year, a guy who went over to BIC in Manny Diaz. Manny had been playing very good corner, comes in a game a couple weeks ago, had two reception touchdowns for BIC, but unfortunately due to injury that he suffered in Lexington, Kentucky, he might miss the rest of the season. But for the Animals, they're still trying to replace him, and you see some of the guys here have been doing a great job. So far, Kyle Ward looks like he could be their #1, but that's Kassim Perry there. And here's
Tender with the handoff. Kwani Morgan picking up just a few yards.
And you see the explosiveness from Kwani Morgan. That's just that simple cross-face shotgun handoff, zone left, and he's able to get the corner even without the blocking. So a big play there on 2nd and 10, brings up 3rd and short. And a reminder, there is no kicking in the A7FL. So although Animals are in field goal range, nope, not today. They're going to have to get across the line of scrimmage, the goal line with a football play, which means that they probably and definitely will go for it on 4th down here. So it's 3rd and short in 4-down territory for the Animals. They have 2 tight ends, Kwani Morgan in the backfield. 1 tight end.
Run or throw. Going for the throw. Right in the middle of the field. Good target for Tender.
And that's Kassim Perry on the slant in front of Matt Riddick. And a guy who has always been an answer when he plays for BIC has become, at least in this first couple drives, a little bit of a guy that the Animals go after. And on 3rd and short, Tender with the accurate pass on the slant, good footwork, good protection, and a great catch. Extended hands by the wide receiver, Kassim Perry, able to convert 1st and 10. And we'll be right back after this quick break. And we are back. After a quick break, right back at it. Animals driving, David Tender waving. Mr. Marketable himself. After a brief intermission, some would say a meeting of the minds, Bronna.
Some friendly words were exchanged.
No stranger to A7FL fans in a game where BIC is involved, where we have a little bit of extra just communication. Everybody wants their feelings to be heard. And it will be, looks to be 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Oh, excuse me, there will be penalty. Ball is actually placed at the 23. Well, they just got to advance it again. Yeah, so it will be 1st and 10 as we reset. Sorry for the confusion. A7FL, no stranger to a little bit of mystery here and there. 1:30 left in the first. Back to football, and here's Kwani Morgan.
Finds
and
his
he's
runner.
Back in the end zone.
Kwani Morgan, have a day. Get your celebration in because you are leading your team with these great opportunities.
And it's not only that they score, Bronna, but the ease in which it looked like they just had that play from the rip. It's not a complicated play here. Just hand the ball off to a guy who can do it. Hulk is not anywhere in the picture. Q Bell can't make the tackle, and Matt Riddick, once again, is just like, listen, I'm here for interceptions, not tackles. But Kwani Morgan finds that BIC-colored end zone for his 2nd of the day, the Animals' 3rd. And now BIC in trouble. 18-0 is the deficit. And the Animals will go again 4-2 from the 10. Tender in the shotgun.
Here's Tender looking for the end zone. Finds his man. Doesn't look like he could bring it down, though.
That's Kasim Perry again in the end zone. This one is much tougher catch, but it falls again. 18-0 Silk City over BIC. And this is getting a little chaotic. We just saw some chaos, and that's why Chaos Gladiator Fitness is the official hybrid fitness partner of the A7FL. Scan the QR code to download the app for a chance to win a free month of training, or just start today for $15 a month. You scan the QR code, get the app also. Use code A7FL for 13% off at chaosgladiator.com. You get the training, you get ready for the A7FL, if you go with the earlier read about owners. And then maybe you too could run it in and cause chaos in this game, like Kwani Morgan and the Animals just did there. So, 18-0 again, 1:24 in the first. And the Animals will throw it off again to Ashante Worthy. We saw his frustration on the 4th down throw to him. I'm not sure exactly what he was frustrated with, although being down 18-0 is frustrating. But here's the throw off now, and his opportunity to get his team back.
BIC is not used to being the underdog. Let's see what Worthy does. He's going to take it himself, continues to go, but he's down at the 45.
And a touchdown saving tackle again in his debut. Kyle Ward just doing it all for the Animals, but Ashante Worthy, your No Limit .pro player of the game, and his readiness, yeah, it's at 100% pretty much anytime you throw it off to him on a 3-on-1, but with 1:18 and ticking.
He seems to
BIC is in danger of what would amount to the blowout rule in which the clock continues to tick through plays like that one. That's how crazy this has been early. 18-0. 1 minute left. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Sterry Codrington, 1st and 10. And timeout
Worthy.
Animals.
He's continuing to look for that end zone. Every time he gets it, he's getting closer and closer, so you wonder when he's going to make it happen.
And he just has such explosive moves to one side or the other that on that return, he just casually strolls through the middle and gets his team to the 34-yard line. Great field position. Now, Braun, I think one of the bigger factors so far in this game has been the wind. The wind is blowing in BIC's face, at least in this quarter. And if they can get a score, or if they can at least keep it to this deficit in this first quarter, in about 57 seconds, they do get the win behind their backs. Maybe that will help in their passing game.
Possibly.
But right now, they really just need to get on the board.
It doesn't seem like they're really actually locked into this game. You know, we saw that friendly exchanging of words and then the distraction, which caused a good run for the Animals to get their touchdown. So it seems like they're distracted. They really need to figure out what it is they need to do to overcome what the Animals are doing as an undefeated team. They have all the pieces. So what is BIC going to do to counteract that kind of success?
And here SJ on the carry.
Can't get it to go. Really nothing gained there.
And this is not something that I would normally say watching a game between the Animals and the BIC, but right now, at least through the first quarter, it looks like the advantage of offensive line is on the Animals side. And Braun, I know you watched a lot of film, but that's not something that you could normally say about a BIC Animals matchup. And I think at least early, it's been the difference so far. Tender's had the time, and when BIC's on offense, they just don't seem to be dominating the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely not. They need to get the communication going. They need some momentum. So what Sari's going to do, going to hand it off, find his runner, picks up a first down. So that's good for BIC.
Well, they have such weapons that they can use. Sometimes the problem is finding ways to do it. And that last run will be the end of the first quarter. Bring a team to your city, A7FL.com/owners, and you too can be a part of the A7FL. We'll be back. Are you subscribed? Well, it's the bell thing. You know, you go, you press the button, you know, to join, you do the thing. A7FL at youtube.com/the A7FL. Check us out. Check us out also on the Insta Faces and the Reddits and all the other things. You know, you guys know what they are. I don't. I'm not going to even pretend. But I do know that it's 1st and 10. Then BIC is driving. But Brona, they're down 18-0 still in this game. 14-34 and ticking. Sterry Codrington.
Sterry got a little time finally. Trying to make a decision here. Throws it. Not going to be good. His man's out of bounds. Very frustrated with that play.
Yeah, you could definitely see the frustration. That was the first word that came to mind. The ball's out of bounds. The play looks like it was almost too open at times, not open at times. The indecision from Sterry Codrington is uncharacteristic, at least now. And give credit to the Animals defense. They have stepped up to this matchup and really given, at least early on, BIC all they can handle on both sides of the ball. Brings up 2nd and 10. You gotta wonder when they just kind of try to spread the ball out, give Sterry some space, and make those one-on-one matchups that favor BIC. Favor BIC. A timeout. BIC is going to talk about a big down here. Again, it's 4-down territory in the A7FL, especially when you get this close and there's no reason to do the 3-on-1 to turn the ball over on 4th. So on 2nd and 10 here, Brana, they need to get it so it's a 3rd and manageable. Now, this break really quickly is a way to make your life manageable. KineticRelief.com, premium CBD sports cream for fast, plant-based relief to keep you moving. Scan the QR code for a chance to win free samples of this beautiful product. And also visit KineticRelief.com for more. You know, I always talk about this QR code thing because I just learned how to do it.
I'm glad we
Kinetic
got
Relief.
you that far. Well, BIC needs to figure out how to get in the end zone.
Now, if you're using a product related to the CBD, you might be confused at as we got here. 18-0 here, 2nd and 10. Sterry Codrington, pressure in his face, and a dump off to GT.
Here comes the big man.
Oh boy!
He's gonna get it done himself. Touchdown, BIC, number 40 in the building.
And I don't know what type of engine that GT is running, but nobody wants to get in the path of that truck. Catching the dump-off pass from Sterry Codrington and making it easy breezy into the touchdown for BIC's first points of the game and their first opportunity at championship points. And again, for those new to the league, no kicking, no soccer, got to play football. So it'll be interesting to see how the game progresses now that the Animals have scored 3 touchdowns with no championship points. And here is the pressure.
So much pressure. He's been seeing it all day. He tried to hand it off to GT earlier in the game. He couldn't bring it in. But this time he said, "Ooh, get out my way. I'm seeing blue. I'm in the end zone."
And BIC sees the value of the championship points, and they'll go for the 1 from the 5. Sterry, time.
Sterry with
Finds
the
Matt
bullet
Riddick.
pass.
Oh, no, that's Kason Campbell. Excuse me.
Kason Campbell finally getting a receiving touchdown. That's definitely not unimaginable for him. So I'm sure he's looking real relieved to get it now.
So that'll be 7-18. BIC fighting back, but a new rule. Maybe they can claw even further into this game. You see the crossing route from one side of the field to the other. Almost impossible to cover Kason Campbell in a situation like that. Easy 1-point conversion.
He
might
just
end
shrugs
up big.
it off. It's like too easy. You couldn't see me. I was right here.
Now the screen says 8. It is 7. But another opportunity to explain the rules. If they make the tackle, BIC does, on Kwani Morgan before he reaches the 20, BIC will get the ball back here. And we have not seen the new get-back rule on these 3-on-1 throw-offs come into effect. But there's the throw from Matt Riddick.
Here's
and
the
Kwani
throw.
Morgan is easily past the 20.
Morgan putting on the speedsters, trying to break the tackle. Gets good advantage down around closer to the 50.
And so Kwani with a good return. Big tackle from Matt Riddick there, but with the wind at your back, you want a better throw to give your team a shot at the get back. It just doesn't travel far enough. Kwani really caught that basically at the 20. All he had to do is take one step, and the opportunity lost. And the Animals have their opportunity. 1st and 10, 47-yard line. And David Tender, nearly perfect so far with 13:25 left in the second quarter. He's got Kasim Perry, Larry Wingo, and Kwani in the backfield.
Here he goes with the handoff. Runner finds a few yards.
And there is a tackle there. They're going to call H3 Frazier on the chop tackle. If you go low, you gotta go for the wrap. And that time he does cut down Kwani Morgan, who is not a guy you want to take up high.
Kwani Morgan almost had enough
But you gotta go for the wrap
to keep going, but just gets tripped up. Like you said, Corey, can't have that happen in this league. You really do need to respectfully wrap up your player. Again, no pads, no protection here in the A7FL, so got to respect the body parts of your competition.
Well, and when you go that low, you almost got kicked in the head.
Almost came back on him.
So ball moves forward, automatic first.
A lot of talking going on. Everybody's trying to figure out.
Timeout, BIC. Yeah, you know, we're having a lot of conversations about
so much talking
about penalties and plays. I think honestly, it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 8. They waved off the penalty because it looked like H3 Frazier. I guess somebody convinced them, went for the wrap low. I don't know. I didn't see it. But the ruling will be that the tackle's legal. You can see it here. He does kind of go with his arms. I mean, it's a subjective call. So, you know, there's really no objective fact there. It's, you know, what's the intention? If you ask him, I'm sure he'll say it wasn't a penalty. Either way, it'll be 2nd
really
and
good
8. But
arguing their case. That's
I mean, I've never seen
2 times today where they made the refs actually bring the penalty back.
Now, I've never seen a flag waved off from a quarterback arguing his case. Now, I agreed with Sarah Codrington on that play. There can be a man set back from the line of scrimmage. There has to be 2 men on the line of scrimmage. That tight end can be back set like they had on that illegal formation. You know, that's something the ref didn't even know. But here's Kasim Perry on the motion.
Here's
and David Tender throws
looking
it to
for
him.
his man, looking for the first down, trying to get there, pushed out of bounds.
That's just an easy completion. Tender, Perry.
Perry all smiles.
Well, and you can see this is really who the Animals are, with the pressure in David Tender's face, with guys all over Kasim Perry after the play, with Isaac Negron bearing down on him, looking for a big hit.
Staying upright,
They're just
though.
cool, calm, get back in the huddle. They're here to have fun and play football. And the pressure certainly, especially in this game, doesn't look like it matters at all. 1st and 10, Animals again on the move.
Let's see, we're handing it off again. Going for the run. Looks like that's a first down.
And Ole Bell is looking to say, hey, can you help me out on a hold here? But the Bell brothers, number 9, Ole, and Q, number 6, just don't have the speed that they did in the 2010s that would have kept that as a tackle for a loss. Kwani Morgan finds the edge and gets 7 on first down. Really, the BIC defense is going to have to get they're going to have to do something different because of what they're doing right now is not working. So what they do is they bring in Trey Baskerville. He's wearing number 28, top of your screen on the defensive line,
The Animals
to see what he can do against his former team.
Successful on so many drives today, but that one swatted away as the pressure just comes in down on Tender. Haven't seen that much kind of scary motion in front of him almost all game, but that's what BIC is going to have to do if they're going to try to shake up this very stable Animals team.
And we'll see who the pressure's on. It looks like Raheem Duran quick in the middle of the field, and then it's Zaire Hancock almost gets an interception, another former Animal, and it brings up a big 3rd and 3. Tender.
Looks like the pressure is going to come
Kwani
again.
Morgan, why not? It's been working.
Quick handoff, though. Here's Morgan getting pulled down, but just enough for his team.
And you see they run away from Trey Baskerville, number 28. And they get the first on one of the simpler play calls, and you just see Ole Bell is just not able to get this edge. He squeezes down too hard, and a play that he once made, he just can't make it anymore, we'll say. Ole Bell, legend in this league. And Quani Morgan abuses him on that third down, bringing up 1st and 10 Animals.
Just quick feet by Morgan. Absolutely elusive.
Empty backfield, Morgan in motion.
Here's some motion. Here's Tender. Pressure coming
Tender
again.
around
But he's going to do it
again.
himself. Come on. You know what he's capable of. Jogs out of bounds. He said, I'm not going to go in to get tackled for that right now, but gets good position for his team.
And I don't know why he doesn't go for a touchdown there. I'm not sure if he's pulled up lame there, which could be the bigger issue. but a guy that's laughing, smiling, having a great time, playing against the defending national champion Trenton BIC, a team he's never beaten before. I don't know, he could have cha-cha slide into the end zone, just decides to get
he was
around
like, I'm tired.
Ole Bell.
He was tired. He was like, you know what? This
Again.
is close enough. This is great. Let me get it on the next one. He sees all those players come in to boost him out to tackle him.
He has the speed, he could have scored there, but he doesn't. 1st and 10.
Let's
Hope
see
it
what he
doesn't come
does
back to bite
here.
him.
Here's the handoff.
Whoop. And that's hype.
Right between so many tackles.
There's Isaac Negron, cleans it up after a couple of big blips and blaps. Shout out to LJ. We saw him against this guy, this hype guy, against the Heathens last week. He showed that he could do the thing. Oh, his name's Truth. Excuse me. He's not hype. He's Truth.
He's the truth. Missing, getting out of these tackles right here.
He's snatching soles and ankles.
Puts
bringing up second
several
down.
BIC players down on the ground.
2nd and goal. Again, no kicking, so this is a tough place for a lot of offenses to punch it in. Now, the Animals have definitely not had any of those issues so far in today's game, but if BIC wants to really be in this game, wants to really, at the half, consider themselves right where they want to be, they're going to have to make a couple of big stops here inside the 5-yard line against an Animals team that's run all over them, and against a quarterback in David Tender, except for that last play, I guess he was running the ball, has the speed and explosiveness to score himself. 8 left in the second and goal from the 4-yard line. Truth in the backfield with David Tender. It'll be Wingo and Perry, wide receivers at the top of the screen with Joker, the tight end, the right side of the offensive line.
Animals taking their time here. Gets a go and play action. Ooh, can't get it to Perry. Defender came right in front of him, swatted it away.
And that's Matt Riddick, and he baited Tender on the slant. And if that ball was thrown a little bit more behind, that's probably an interception and a huge turnover. Again, that is what Matt Riddick is there for. He is not your cleanup, the defense tackler at the back. He is there for turnovers. You see the explosiveness here. Baits him in, undercuts it, just misses what would have been a big-time turnover.
Perry also just stops running, just plants his feet right there, doesn't go to the ball.
And it'll be 3rd and goal. Trips the top of the screen. Here's Truth in motion. And Tender will keep it.
Tender with a quarterback sneak, almost gets it.
And stopped. Looks like he'll be about the 2.5. And that extracurricular has nothing to do with the play. And we'll take a quick timeout here. 4th and 2 when we get back. Handle your business. And we're back on that play. Hobby Durham, he gets in there, and you see his arm looked like it might have been dislocated, grabbing David Tender, actually helping bringing him down. But we're just sorting that kind of weird situation out. And as we take care of our player, we're going to take another brief break, Brana, with our score Silk City 18, BIC 7. 6:27 left in the second quarter. And after this, a huge 4th and 2. And so we're back, and as we make sure everybody's good down there, this is the standings. So after today and the 1 o'clock game between the Patterson U and the Lexington Phantoms, a game that ended in a crazy fashion, Brana. We were watching it here in the booth prepping for this game.
Yep.
You see the only team left undefeated until, maybe not, later on today, Silk City, 3-0. Patterson, 3-1. And the way that went down, Brana, 2.4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Phantoms had the ball on the 25-yard line, and they throw a touchdown pass to go up 31-25 and may shock the A7FL world. I know you were prepping for this game, watching a little bit of BIC Patterson.
Yeah.
And I was telling you that, in Kentucky there's a game. Let's see where it's at. What are your first impressions, at least, watching today's game, hearing about the upset over in Kentucky? What are some of your early perceptions of the A7FL?
Yeah, definitely just
visual.
It's a lot of good competition for sure. Obviously, BIC players still being helped on the field here, getting some good attention from our Asbury Park Fire Department as they help him out. But just talking about the league overall, Patterson U seems to be one of those teams that has a lot of history, especially alongside a team like BIC. BIC, they're reigning champions. of this previous season. They won in 2022. They won in 2016. I believe one of those games were against the U.
Yep, many.
Many of them, so you could see that there's definitely some rivalries and just a lot of heavy competition between these teams. But one thing that Ashante Worthy noted was the mistakes that BIC had in that opening week against the U. You know, he said we can't make the same mistakes we did with the U here against Silk City, but it seems like some of those things may still be coming up.
And those mistakes were turnovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Ashante Worthy had the fumble. Kason Campbell had the fumble. One was on offense, one was on a return, but the turnovers are huge, and you see already BIC, they've turned the ball over on downs. They had the interception. There's the play again here. You see, you know, diving in. I hope the arm isn't broken. If it's dislocated, that's a quicker recovery. But again, the play ends with a big-time down now, 4th and 2. You see Matt Riddick. You know, some wouldn't say he's truly a BIC guy, but you see there for his brother in Christ. Sorry, had to put that in there. But if you want to be a part of this league and you are brave enough to take on the risk of playing, no pads, no helmets, all contact, visit A7FL.com/owners, and you could bring your A-team to your city. Silk City 18, BIC 7, 6:27 left in the second. Brona, tons of time left in this game.
Yep.
There's a big stoppage. You know, we got to make sure we take care of everybody properly. You see the paramedics are kind of addressing that arm. And we will take another quick break. And hopefully when we return, 4th and 2, BIC's back against the wall. And we're just about wrapping up our preparatory care for Durham. We saw it twice on the replay. I'm no medical professional. The extent of my medical knowledge is Thursdays watching HBO's The Pit.
Love The Pit.
Don't know what they're talking about.
No
but,
idea.
You know, you'll see some things. It's kind of like how I got my law degree from Law and Order, but from what I can see here, not necessarily a break, more of a dislocated look.
Looks like it happens when he actually kind of flails to the ground.
Yeah, he gets that that arm around Tender, and you see he's got a decent face on. Looks like he's not in too much pain, so we'll get him checked out and ready for the police academy.
And shout out to our first responders.
And shout outs to our first responders. They're doing a lot of the unsung hero work. And Durham on a very aggressive and a good defensive play to bring up the 4th and 2, or 4th and goal from the 2 for his team and getting back to this game and what it means. We talked about the U losing. So BIC playing for a share, a 3-way tie if they win, of the top seed, at least right now, in the A7FL Eastern Conference. And the Animals, if they get the win and they can hold on with their lead right now, they'd be the sole proprietors of first place. The first time, I think maybe in the Animals' history this late in the season, they would be the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So history could be made here. But first and foremost, 4th and goal. If BIC gets a stop and puts some points back on the board, they look at this game as probably right back theirs to win. But Braun, of this whole drive, the Animals, when they hand it to Kwani Morgan, he's had enough to get much more than 2. So we'll see on 4th and goal what Tender, Silk City, and the Animals choose to do to try to get over that goal line and put another 6 up on the scoreboard.
BIC also has another thing to add to their stress plate now, losing one of their players, seeing him go away in the ambulance, and they've been playing with a lot of frustration, not much accuracy, lots of miscommunication. We saw the exchanging of friendly words early on in this game between the teams.
Yeah, and at least on defense, it looks like the Animals have been pretty much dominant in this first half. 18 at this point in the game against the Patterson U. Patterson had only had 6 points up on the board. It was that explosion at the end of the first half that really gave Patterson U the lead in that game.
Yep, they were up 19-6. Lots of mistakes were made.
Yeah.
That's what Ashante Worthy told me. And then, like you said, Corey, ended 35-31.
Yeah, it was 19-6, and all of a sudden it was like 26-19. Yeah. And it happened in the blink of an eye. But don't blink now. 4th and 2. And Tender. No, that's Kwani Morgan. He starts with the ball, ends with the ball, and ends with 6 on the board.
You called it.
No problem for Kwani Morgan. No problem for the Animals after a long break. And big problems for BIC. They're down 24-7.
Kwani Morgan with the shiesty on, but you could tell he's all smiles under that mask, dapping up all his teammates. They're really excited to see what he can do here.
Yeah, that's his 3rd touchdown on the ground of this game. Really has been a dominant force, and it really doesn't take much. He doesn't even get blocking from Kyle Ward.
Finds the edge and walks it right in.
And so, for 1 point, Tender throws it, and he throws it to Morgan, and he can't get his hands on it.
A little too quick of a release. Morgan wasn't ready.
Again, Animals not able to convert after the touchdown. That may be big, but if they keep scoring, it won't be, because it's 24-7. 6:23 left in the second. And we're brought to you by No Limit wearable biometric shorts that deliver real-time performance data while you train wearing them. That's biosensor technology that will optimize your training so you can perform at your peak. Scan the QR code to learn more about this innovative technology or visit nolimit.pro for more. Jason Sisson back to return, where Ashante Worthy is a mixture of balance, power, and explosiveness. Jason Sisson is acceleration, speed, and bright cleats. And with no time coming off on these 3-on-1s, BIC is going to try to use this 3-on-1 as an opportunity to get right back in this game. Plenty of time still left in this game, and an interesting thing on all of those touchdowns. If BIC went for 2 and got the 2 and it was 8-24, it would only be a 2-score game. Now, it technically still is a 3-score game. But with the Animals failing on 4 attempts to even get 1 point after touchdown, that is something to keep track of. If BIC is able to find themselves back in this game, and here's the throw off. It's long enough, but it goes out of bounds, which will give the advantage to Jason Sisson with a running start. Ball in hand at the 25. And Bronna, this is a really dangerous spot because in most of these situations, the returner will not even be near a potential tackler until about the 50-yard line. So definitely going to be good field position. But with the explosive nature of how Sisson attacks these 3-on-1s, this could be some fireworks.
See Sisson put on the Jets earlier. He's going to try to fake him out. 3-on-1 looking really strong right now. He's going back. He's trying to find the edge, find the sideline. Going back again, reverses, finds that sideline and runs it out around the 40.
Well, he ran about 130 yards to get about 55.
Yeah.
But the field position is still great.
A lot of stutter step right there, changed directions. He was really trying to make something happen.
And you see the acceleration and speed. You have to credit the 3-on-1 for the Animals. They give up all the way to the 39, but they keep points off the board. And they're going to have to keep doing that because BIC, they're ready to put some up if they want to stay in this game.
A lot of time left. Here goes Sterry. Has his man coming straight across the field. Doesn't give it to him. Decides to keep it for himself.
That was a simple high-low concept. Both crossing routes. Ashante had the high crossing route. Kason had the low crossing route. And really the Animals played great coverage on it. It was almost a zone coverage. Nowhere for Sterry to throw to the first primary targets, but when he did escape the pocket, he had that check down in GT wide open in the middle of the field. He's got to keep an eye out for that. That's how they got the first touchdown. Might be another way that they can get the second. That'll bring up 2nd and 12 on the loss there. Sterry again by himself in the backfield.
Here's Sterry. Got a little bit of time. Pressure's coming. Shoots it to his man, gets it, completes it. Down around the 35.
And Ashante Worthy is so hard to bring down. That's just a simple pitch and catch on the stop route. And almost a dangerous play from Ashante because he makes the first man miss. Now a great tackle to stop him from scoring. But it'll bring up a 3rd and about 7 after the 5-yard gain on the stop route.
Hollywood looking to keep the lights on for BIC today.
Now they will be likely go for it on 4th. Campbell in motion.
Sterry with time. Is he going to keep it? Is he going to let it fly? He's going to go for the sideline. Looks like he gets the first down for his team.
And he has been trying to keep the play alive. It looks like most of this game he's been trying to attack in the pass. At a certain moment, Bronna, in this game, though, he's going to have to just decide that he's going to be a dual threat. That time on 3rd down, he can pick up the first with his legs, moves the ball for his offense, and equalizes what would have been, against most quarterbacks, enough pressure to stop him. That time, his sidearm, which is what I call it when he presses triangle in Call of Duty, goes to the sidearm. It's that speed. Gets it there, 1st and 10. And it'll be timeout Animals. Their 2nd. Leaves them 1 in the half. 3:48 left in this second quarter. Make sure you subscribe. You can also like, and if you want to comment, you can join. That's youtube.com/the A7FL, and you can join to get all of our nonstop action as soon as it comes out. I think it's called a notification bell for those uninitiated. 24-7 is the score in the second. Animals have really done whatever they want on offense except for convert those extra points after the touchdowns. They've had 4 drives. They have 4 scores. And although BIC is in good position here, they've struggled so far on offense, but they're not out of this one yet.
Trenton usually does a really good job of making it look easy to be QB for his team. He has a great arm, but hasn't really had a beautiful shot downfield yet. He usually has good vision in the red zone, but the Animals haven't let him get that close today. So we're going to see if he could build some momentum here
and they decide to bring pressure, and the pressure will force the errant throw to GT on the crossing route. See, a lot of defenses are afraid to bring that extra man of pressure on Sterry Codrington, because if he escapes that pressure, you're left naked as a defense, and it's an easy 6 once he gets past it. Now, they are rushing far enough and with enough integrity. Doesn't look like he has an easy escape route. And at least on that 1st and 10, the extra pressure, it's No Limit.pro is saying that his fatigue is at 17.
He's not tired, or is he tired?
I think he's still got 83% left in the tank. The No Limit meter, replacing the Gatorade meter in 2K very soon.
Here's Sterry.
He's
got some options downfield, but that's not a good look.
Yeah, and he goes to Ashanti Worthy in double coverage, and you see BIC not used to being in this position. Kason Campbell is wide open
Super
underneath.
Frustrated, as he should be. He was the better option looking for it. Obviously, you want to go to somebody like Ashanti Worthy. He's very reliable, but you see him in double coverage. You got to keep your vision open.
And that's the type of quarterback play that sometimes will happen when you have pressure. Wolverine is getting up in his face, and when he releases the ball, Kason Campbell is likely not as open as he looked at the end of the play. But when he's that open at the end of the play, you do have to ask yourself the question, did I choose right? 3rd and 10.
Sterry with more pressure, but there's some space.
He's
going to use it. He's going to try to get it.
And that's why, as everybody starts to doubt the quarterback from BIC for making the wrong decision there, he makes the right one. But the underrated play there, Carnell Wachter, number 52, seals that play with a great block, freeing up his quarterback for another 1st down run. And now Ashanti Worthy, ready. Sterry Codrington fatigued. But there's no limit to the amount of statistics we can give you with their performance wearables. NoLimit.pro for more. Seriously, visit NoLimit.pro to get why and how we get you these calculations. So that is the 2-minute warning. And with a pretty good drive so far, Sterry Codrington gutting it out to get to this point. And the score is still 24-7. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this drive and half. And we are back. First and goal. Ball on the 5-yard line. 4 guys in front of Sterry Codrington. And Jason Sisson in motion. He's got the speed. Does he have the edge?
BIC needs this.
And he fights for it. Touchdown.
Let's go, Trenton BIC. It's been a really slow start for them, but they're starting to chip away at that deficit that Silk City has created.
Hasn't looked as pretty as the Animals have made it look. Hasn't looked as easy, but they're sitting here 13-24 with a chance to put more on the board and tighten up this lead. Really, that's just the speed of Sisson and the fight at the end. Rob Long misses a tackle, and he's able to sneak it in. And so again, they'll go for a 1-pointer from the 5. That will make it, that will reduce the deficit to 10. Right now it's at 11. And you'll see Jason Sisson is in the back stack.
Throws it in, but
Codrington just completely whiffs on the throw to Shantae Worthy.
Nobody there to receive it. Again, this is something that BIC has had an issue with today. The miscommunication, and it's creating mistakes.
Well, Sterry's been off a little bit. He's going to have to get back on track. That's the guy he's going to have to be on target with. But this will bring up another 3-on-1 throw-off opportunity. BIC has the wind at their back. And if they can tackle the returner before the 20, they will have possession of the ball. 1:54 left in this half. And Kwani Morgan again back to return it. The problem was Matt Riddick on the last throw just didn't get enough on the throw to make it an opportunity. Let's see if he can get it deep enough here. And it will be a squibbler that makes it just as far, but
Here's
it's definitely not a
Morgan.
get back. Can Kwani take
Trying
it?
to take advantage.
He goes for the Jordan dunk over Baby Joker.
He's still happy
Did he
about
think
it.
he was going to continue to fly? Like, it almost looked like he
was
pressed the
trying to
button.
escape. He was trying to escape.
My man's in God mode in Minecraft, pressing the jump, thinking it'll take him with the elytra all the way to
Trying
the
to
end zone.
hurdle.
He
That was
gets
good
over to
form.
one man.
Great hurdle form. Got him a few extra yards on the play, so honestly, the effort was worth it.
The emphatic jump gives them good field position. And David Tender does not look phased.
Here's Tender all the time and the space, takes it himself, breaks a few tackles, then gets put down at the 55.
A nice consolation prize on the run. Quick 8 yards. And more importantly, the clock ticks. Now, the Animals are definitely going to look to score here, but what they don't want to do is give the ball back to BIC with any time left. So a smart play here, as quick as the Animals can score, and they can, to let the clock run even more down, because BIC, as they've shown, they can score in even less time than that. Tender again trips to the top of the screen. Plenty
Great
of time.
time management. And then
there's
dumps
Joker.
it off to his man.
And Joker, the veteran, gets out of bounds and is going to draw the extracurricular penalty.
Just got too excited.
And he does run out of bounds on his own, and the extra shove knocks him out, and the extra shove was done when he was already declared out of bounds. So the penalty should hold. As is with a BIC play, they are going to argue it.
They're going to try to
But
talk
they're
it
not
out.
going to get it this time.
They've had to go their way this game so far. They've been really in it with the refs.
And it's just the
Tender again, dumping
composure
it
of
off.
Tender. That time the front side of the play is completely covered. So he checks it down to the tight end. That's Joker, longtime veteran in this league. And with a 15-yarder attached to that, it's not even 15 because it's half the distance. And it's just been this easy for the Animals already. Inside the 20
Just
with
another
1:04 left on the clock.
mistake by BIC that costs them so big. Here's Silk City. Too smooth. Tender finds his man at the first.
That's Kyle Ward again in front of H3 Frazier. The ball's just thrown on time. There's nothing any corner can do. And it looks like it's going to be first and goal after the first down. And again, going out of bounds under 2 minutes, the clock stops. This is just textbook. I mean, that's literally how I made a career out of this thing for as long as I have. It's literally just that play. I can do that.
Steps right out.
But actually isn't a first. It'll bring up 2nd and 1.
It's high IQ showing off today.
Again, Quani Morgan.
Is
this his 4th? 1, 2, 3,
but they're going to count it. Touchdown.
4. Touchdown, Quani.
Come on, the Animals are just feeling themselves today. They got all their weapons firing.
And it's just been too easy on the ground. 4 touchdowns for Quani Morgan, and they all look just as easy as this one.
Unstoppable. You see the defender tries to hook onto his jersey, but he pulls him down with him. Too strong. Come on, man. I was going to get that touchdown anyways.
30-13. You're seeing that right, fans at home. Animals in control and looking to go for 2 from the 10.
Here's Tender.
Ball
Beautiful
up to
pass.
Kyle Ward.
Incredibly too easy.
Manny who? Ward has stepped in the shoes and become wide receiver 1 for the Animals today against one of his many former teams. And that lead is now 19 with 55 left in this first half. And if I told you, Brona, without seeing these teams, without seeing anything, who the defending champs were, you might be right to assume the team in black and silver.
They look real good.
They've been playing that quality football, at least today, at least so far.
Undefeated for a reason, right? They had that. They've had some big wins already, and they had that mercy rule enforced against the Heathens in their last game.
Well, to be fair, give the Phantoms credit as Ashanti Worthy looks as ready as one can be, down 32-13. And give the Phantoms credit. They are definitely a for-real team, as they proved today, beating the Patterson U 31-25. But the Animals, this is really their first big game.
Yeah.
And they've come up big so far. Here's the throw off, and it will not go far enough. But Ashanti will still take it. Makes the first man miss.
Getting pulled. Where's the hold?
He's got a hold of him. He's trying.
And then everybody on top of him.
Now, the ball did not travel far enough, but the ruling is that if you catch it, you can take it. And Ashanti almost did. Kyle Ward, again, saving a potential touchdown maybe with this fingertip tackle on the little undershirt.
Just gets to edge, pulls him, continues to pull, and then has his man help him bring him down.
But still 55 left, and BIC no stranger to scoring quickly. They go to the line quickly.
They're ready.
Sterry Codrington. One
Here's
timeout
Sterry.
left quickly
Pass
to
it
Jason
off.
Sisson.
Just Sisson can't get it to go. There's a flag.
But it looks like Nick Mays, the mean machine, was a little late on Sterry. And Will Franklin, rightfully, will get 15 to the BIC offense, and they will get closer, even on the incompletion. Nick Mays not happy. Sterry's trying to say, hey, man, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Not bad. I'm just trying to play quarterback out here, bro.
BIC looking real good, looking to...
Just for clarification, that is not how Sterry Codrington talks. He's
No.
not from California, and he does not surf.
He has a quick release.
Honestly, that play worked out as good as it could have.
Absolutely.
Moving the ball up on the penalty, not moving the clock on that incompletion.
Trying to get some redemption on all the penalties that they have absorbed today so far. Finally goes their way.
Touchdown from BIC on this drive can easily cut the deficit to a more manageable second half. But right now, 19 feels like a big lead, especially when you consider the Animals have really been able to do whatever they want on offense. 1st and 10. Codrington.
Slow and steady wins the race. Here's Sterry.
Finds
Finds
Sisson.
10. Here's Sisson getting tackled from behind, but some good yardage gained on that play.
Now this is smart. If they can do this properly, the clock is running down to 35, but they still do keep their timeout, and they get to the line of scrimmage. Sterry leading the pack.
BIC not cracking under pressure. More pressure. Here's Sterry. Finds the big guy.
Almost want it to be an incompletion there, but we'll see what the penalty is. Might be roughing on Sterry again. Here's the previous completion to Sisson.
Sisson just really great in space, maneuvering around a few defenders out there.
And it looks like the penalty is against BIC. Only a 5-yarder. Looks like a false start. And the clock is moving, 20-19. BIC still has the timeout, but they have to work quickly.
Timing
down to 10.
Is against them. Can they get it off in time?
Got to go for the end zone here or get out of bounds quickly.
Sterry's finally taken for his own. Knocked out of bounds.
And he's inside the 5. This is a big play for BIC. They have a shot. And one last play likely.
Sterry Codrington again talking with the refs. They've had a lot of conversations today.
And this is just what Sterry's going to need to do. The Animals are going to look for a hold there. They're not going to get it. This is a big-time tackle coming all the way across the field. He's the only man that can make that play. Wolverine was not going to get there.
Absolutely. You've been wanting to see it from Sterry all day. When is he going to finally really take the lead and do it for himself and do it for his team?
On this drive, last drive before that, he's been doing enough. Whether it's on the ground or finding his receivers, but
got to do it all.
Here's the deal. As we check the scores from today, Renegades with their first win. Heathens, no wins, even at home, 21-18. And the Phantoms with the big upset win against the Patterson U. But here's BIC down big, looking to close this deficit with one last play before the half.
Sterry Codrington with the shotgun option. Here he goes.
Here's quick pressure.
Time finds the end zone.
And that's Trey Cohen. Perfect throw. Perfect front flip.
That's perfect. 10 out of 10. He's hyped, as he should be. He's been working all day, looking for that touchdown option.
And it might not be the highlight throw you expect from an MVP quarterback, but with only this play to make and pressure in his face, makes the decision, gets the ball accurately to his man, and Cohen converts. And now we'll go once again to championship points, 32-19. This game's still far from being decided. And BIC will go for another 1 to cut this deficit to 12 from the 5. Sterry again.
Can they convert?
Got plenty of time.
So much time, a lot going on downfield. Too much distraction, can't make it happen.
And it's going to be holding on the defense, so that will replay the extra point, this time half the distance, so a 1-pointer from the 2.5. Now, a lot of teams might think that this is the time to get big and bring in the running backs, but sometimes an advantage for BIC, their speed and their acceleration in a situation like this. I don't know if they have the horses, but they do have a star, Hollywood, coming in. And we'll start with the ball at the quarterback spot. He's no stranger to the quarterback position, an all-state quarterback in high school. 2,000 yards rushing, 2,000 yards passing.
What can't he do? Showing up for his team in clutch time. He's going to take it for himself. Too much space and too easy for Ashante Worthy. He said, this is not a rivalry. That's what he told me. He said, this is not a rivalry.
Well, at least it's a game. And that's the half. 32-20. And we'll take a quick break, but first, Ashante Worthy's ready. 100% according to No Limits wearable biometric shorts, delivering real-time performance data to help you train smarter and recover better. For more info, to learn about innovative biosensor technology, scan the QR code or visit nolimit.pro for more. That's a big-time half for the Animals, but they're going to need another 30 minutes on the clock to bring this one home. And BIC wants nothing more than to spoil that performance so far. 32-20, we will be back. So get your affairs in order. And a big-time matchup here in the A7FL. Midway through the 2026 season, the championship picture starting to become a little bit clearer. But at least today, looks a little chaotic. Which reminds me, the A7FL official hybrid fitness partner is Chaos Gladiator Hybrid Fitness Training. So if you want to get in shape, like Quani Morgan and David Tender have looked today, scan the QR code now and get the app. For $15 a month, you get access to the workouts and a trainer. But also, you can win a free month of training. But if you want even more, A7FL's got you. Use the code A7FL at chaosgladiator.com for 13% off of performance gear and premium supplements. That's Chaos Gladiator Fitness.com. So the 3-on-1 throw-off to start this second half. After that big-time score, Ashante Worthy. Let's see what answer he has. Little bit of space, dips in and out, has the acceleration, but does he have the space? The Animals chase, and they'll get there, but not until BIC has the ball at the Animals 20. And down 12, they're gonna look to shorten that lead. A big half for David Tender and the Animals offense, but in a half that, as we see the replay here, in a phone booth, you can't get to him. The field was any wider. Ashante Worthy scores on that play. It looks like he stepped out of bounds at the 29-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Sterry Codrington. He's been gutting it out so far. Missed some receivers, missed some open guys, but he's still been able to put up 20 against this Animals defense with SJ in the backfield. Here's the handoff. And Rob Long, known for his interceptions, has one today, makes the stop on SJ, but not after. Pretty good gain on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5. BIC 2-1 on the year. Only loss this season to the Patterson U, 35-31 in week 1. The Animals right now sitting at 3-0. And with a win, either team will take number 1 on the standings. Here's Codrington again, cornered. Let's go with the ball and just gets rid of it. Almost had 2 of his receivers, K-Wack and Kason, but the pressure bearing down on him. Brona, rate your first half of A7FL football so far.
Rate the first half? Out of what?
Well, what are your first impressions, at least, from not only these teams, not only this game, but the league in general?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
No, really, no, it really is fun. You know, you don't get to see a league like this every single day, and this kind of play where you see guys just from all walks of life just really just enjoying the rawest kinds of football.
And with a throw there just off target from Sterry Codrington on 3rd and 5 after the great return from Ashante Worthy to start this half. We're right back in potential danger territory for BIC. What are the big things they're going to have to do, Brona, to stay in this game? Because their defense just really doesn't have an answer for David Tender and Quani Morgan, specifically Quani Morgan, with already 4 touchdowns in the first half on the ground. They're going to have to keep pace, and right now, they want to put the pressure on the Animals offense by getting this score and cutting it to a 1-score game. But on 4th and 5, if they don't get this here, it's Animals ball, 1st and 10. Here's Sterry.
Got some time, finds a hole, dodges his man, looking, can't get it to go any further, but that's some really good yardage by Sterry. And like you were saying, Corey, like when is that connection, especially between Sterry and Ashante, gonna start to pay off for BIC here?
Well, and at least just the threat on 4th and 5 gives Sterry enough space for him to weave his way in and out to get the first down. You see the pressure has really been relentless all game. If it wasn't for the elite ability from Sterry Codrington making a great tackler, Wolverine missing open field, pretty much making the whole defense look a little bit silly there. But when he struggles sometimes in the air, as you've mentioned, he's got to get on the same page with his wide receivers. It's really no problem when you can do things like that.
Yeah.
And
he knows
erase
how to
a
make
4th
up
down.
for it, for
Yeah,
sure.
you erase the 4th down on the sticks, put a 1 and keep the ball. You're doing your job.
Still plenty of football left.
And one of the things I've been talking with Sterry Codrington about is the use of his wide receivers. You got to wonder when they go to the big wide receiver. He's right there next to Kenny in the burgundy, number 33. Blacknall, Saeed Blacknall from Penn State, but they're going to keep it with Kason and Ashanti here, 1st and 10, threatening at the 13.
Here's Sterry. He's going to do it for himself. Touchdown, BIC.
And they don't care how you do it, but when you do it, they give you 6, another touchdown for BIC. And just like that, a dominant performance that seemed at times from the Animals is now only a 6-point lead. And that's how the A7FL will get you. If you fall asleep on this BIC team, they can score and score quickly. 26-32 with a chance to cut it under the 6-point threshold with this extra point. And Brona, that's why these extra points that the Animals have missed may come back to bite them. Looks like the BIC is going to go for the 1 from the 5. And if they're able to do so, they will cut this to a 5-point game. It'll be a delay of game on BIC, an unforced error. So they'll have to, it's a reverse of the last touchdown. Last time they got the half the distance to the goal 1.
Yep.
Now they get the rare, but you know, still happens, the 1-point conversion from the 10.
10 steps forward, 5 steps back. Still anybody's game.
And they will bring in Blacknall, Saeed Blacknall, bottom of your screen at the wide receiver. They put Jason Sisson in the back stack, so they'll have that dangerous option to give him some room to run. And this could cut it to 5.
You can tell Silk City trying to adjust here.
And there's Q Bell. The tight end is uncovered. And with the distractions all over the field, one of the leading reception and yardage leaders in the history of this game catches his first catch of this game and a big 1 point to cut the lead to 5. 32-27, BIC able to take advantage of the great return from Ashanti Worthy. And they look like they're getting, well, they're recovered, at least from early on this game. And Kinetic Relief knows that recovery matters. Kinetic Relief delivers fast plant-based relief to keep you moving and has been pretty good so far for most of those elder BIC statesmen like we just saw in Q Bell. So scan the QR code now for a chance to win a free sample or visit kineticrelief.com for more. And they still have the chance at the get back. Kwani across the 20 again, so no get back. But now they got to make the tackle. Oh, and a big one from the baby joker right there. And Kwani Morgan on the ground and handing the headgear to his opponent.
He loves a good hurdle attempt.
Tender, 1st and 10. Unfazed by the BIC comeback so far. Back in the huddle with his weapons. Larry Wingo, Kwani Morgan, and Kyle Ward comes in. Kasim Perry out, Ward in.
Here's Tender, Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collected.
That's funny, LJ once called me that. Here's the give to Kwani Morgan.
Morgan picking up a few.
And there is going to be a penalty flag, and that will be big. Kwani already has 4 touchdowns. He will come up a little lame. And the defense will be saddled with the penalty, but the loss on that play might be for the Animals. The guy with the most points in this game, Quanti Morgan, goes down. They go jet action, give to Morgan. I'm not sure what the penalty was. H3 Frazier's been diving down at ankles. Did he go for the wrap? Not sure. But either way, the ball will move all the way to the BIC 49, and Tender with the 1st and 10.
More.
A lot of conversation, still yelling, all things going.
He didn't have his shirt off.
Dwan, what are you doing?
I think they was yelling at him to take his warm-ups off. It's kind of chilly down there. It's really windy.
A couple years ago in the first ever Orb Bowl, Dwan, he won the Orb. This time he comes onto the field with a t-shirt. And Ken Stansberry might just have something to say about that. What a ridiculous way.
They are fired up. They're making too many mistakes.
Well, when you're down,
it's the little things now.
You can make mistakes,
yeah.
right? You can miss a tackle here and there. You know, maybe you get beaten coverage. But to walk onto the field and waste the timeout, which will come, I guarantee it comes into play later on this game.
Oh, my gosh.
Because you are wearing a light blue shirt instead of your jersey. Dwan, how dare you?
They're trying to stay warm down there.
1st and 10.
It's windy. The Seagulls are taking over. It's a lot going on. They're screaming.
And Tender is really relaxed.
Here's Tender with
Mr.
some
Marketable.
motion. He's like,
just got
that's
so
not going
much
to phase me.
time.
Bullet into the midfield. Can't get it to go.
And you see maybe a hidden storyline of this game. We saw it at the beginning of this drive. David Tender sent Kasim Perry out. That's his 3rd drop of the game. And with the emergence of Kyle Ward, could be a storyline to talk about, you know, maybe Wednesday. Other Side of the Ball Network, A7FL podcast, if you want to listen. Brauna's been invited. We'll see if she accepts. I mean, that's a tough pitch and catch, but that's an accurate throw from Tender.
I'm a part of the club now, guys. I'm happy to be here.
But just look at the time. I mean, you're not
So
going to
much
beat
time.
the Animals. You're not going to beat David Tender. If he's able to just chill in a pocket.
Looks like Perry gets a little push in the back also from his defender there.
Time again.
Again!
This time he misses. That time it's on Tender
The
to
throw's
Perry.
a little low.
And so just like that, 3rd and 10. Tender's not phased.
Never phased.
He's communicating with his receiver. The Seagulls are trying to make this an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Who's down there eating on the field?
Listen, they're
looking for snacks.
those Seagulls have been known to look for turnovers. Now, they haven't officially gotten an interception yet.
They're trying to get in on a game.
But there is no limit, right? No limit performance wearables. There is no limit to how badly they want to be a part
Here's
of this
the
game.
spread. Handoff, quick.
It's Kyle Ward on 3rd down. Now, that tells me the Animals will likely go for it on 4th. They're looking to pick up a good chunk. They do get it there on the quick screen. And it'll be 4th and 4. And
Ward chops
Ole
that
Bell
in
got
half.
hit in somewhere that's going to force Trey Baskerville in. 9 minutes left in the 3rd. Animals relaxing on this drive, just taking it as it comes. The Seagulls, for whatever reason, still swirling. Still mad at Dwan for wearing his shirt. But this is a big 4th down for BIC
Here's
and the
Tender.
Animals.
The pressure's coming, but he's not going to let it get to him. But he does.
Oh,
But
and
he does.
Matt Riddick again at the cornerback position with his explosive speed, undercuts the route, tips it, almost gets the interception, but more importantly, forces the big turnover on downs. And for the first time all game, David Tender scratching his head because the Animals, this is the first time they're feeling any pressure and all of the momentum with Matt Riddick wearing Dwan's jersey. Maybe that's why he was wearing the wrong shirt.
Matt Riddick has been the key player for BIC. Corey, you've been
For
saying
both sides,
his
he's
name
either been
all
the guy
day.
that the Animals have scored on, or he's been the guy that has made the plays when BIC has needed him. Right there, they did get it. They did need it.
Leading
and
by
Sterry
example.
Codrington is only down by 5. A touchdown will take their first lead of the game. Here he is on the
Sterry,
ground.
he's going. He's going. He's going. 30, 20, 10. What are you going to do about it? Touchdown, BIC. Don't sleep on them. It's a long game.
And again, the extra points the Animals have missed mean that with an equivalent score, now BIC has the lead. And just like that, we thought this game was dominated by the Animals early.
It was,
but
till
with
it
a
wasn't.
big-time drive at the end of the first half, a great opening drive, and mostly Sterry Codrington and his legs, BIC now has a 1-point lead.
Sterry kisses him
all
goodbye.
of the aura, momentum, and whatever other brainwash word you're using, they've got it. Sterry Codrington, his fatigue level has dropped from 17 to 13. Because when you have a great run like that, even though you're a little tired, you're re-energized. And it will be Ashante Worthy again in at quarterback on this championship extra point.
The tables were going to turn eventually, and now they're turning in favor of Trenton. Here's Ashante, a little fake.
What?
Little scramble. Drops it.
And there's GT, a big target, finds him. And the lead is 34-32. And BIC with their first lead of the game on the explosive big run from Sterry Codrington. But it really started with the defense. They get the 4th down stop. A big time stop. First time they did anything against the Animals offense. And now the Animals sideline is looking around for answers. Who's going to answer the call? Right now it's Kyle Ward. Back to return the 3-on-1. And here's Riddick on the throw.
Here's the throw. Siegel's in the way, but Ward's gonna try to get it to go around
Pass,
the 30,
baby, Joker.
finds the sideline.
And Matt Riddick,
Out of bounds.
definitely fast enough against anybody in this league,
Matt Riddick.
including Kyle Ward. Yeah, Matt Riddick, once upon a time, we'd say about 2018, 2019, Brana, he was a wide receiver that, if you believe the statistics, and this is always a question, out of the Pennsylvania division, in an MVP season, he had something like 70 total touchdowns.
Insane.
Yeah.
I believe it.
That is an unconfirmed statistic,
I feel
but a
like
statistic nonetheless.
It's not an exexaggeration. We
But
need
a
a stat
definite-
on how many times we've said his name during this broadcast.
Well, it's
at this
definitely a
point.
confirmed statistic. In the championship last
Here's
year,
Tender.
had 3
Finds his man in the
interceptions.
middle. And he's going.
There's Joker.
Joker!
For the elderly.
Come on! He got a little run going, and he said, "Wait, I don't. The end zone's really far."
Listen, got the first down, maintained possession, but there is a penalty flag far back. And it looks like Hulk or Haas for BIC and David Tender are having some words.
Back to the chatting today.
And I'm not sure if it's definitely a penalty on both teams, offsetting penalties. Now, if it's during the play, that might negate the actual play itself. If it was after the play, then the play would result in how it went. So as we talked about, Brana, we will have this discussion.
Yep.
We will consternate.
Everybody's involved.
The opening statements start. Jury selection begins.
I've never seen a group of refs be so open to just let the players come in. We want their
Well, listen,
opinion
Will
too.
Franklin
Come on.
knows what he's doing back there. And as big of a play, no one is more upset if this gets taken away than Joker. But
He
we'll
worked
see.
really hard for that.
Hey, bro, you don't have to chastise him. He's been a big-time player. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Joker.
I'm not
Shout-outs
gonna
to
pick
Joker.
sides here. But I just feel like
He definitely worked hard
he
for
worked
it.
hard.
And you can see
Look
the
at
work
him.
here.
Look at him. He tried to fight that off.
And those
got
are
brought down.
two guys a decade into this league, still fighting, still playing. And here's Tender.
Tender.
Here's Q-Bell with a big hit on Larry Wingo.
Wingo.
I always say Trey Wingo on accident,
Yeah.
and that is a mistake.
No.
That one will not make SportsCenter's top 10, but maybe for the hit from Q Bell, but a good completion from Tender. And the Animals still well within this game. They still have to keep the pedal to the metal on offense, but they are missing Quani Morgan, at least since it looked like he went out.
Pressure. Drops
Joker
it off
again.
to Joker.
Skip!
The tight end is fighting. He's fighting through it.
And Joker has been a big-time performer in today's game. Gets a lot of that yardage they stole from him back.
Absolutely. That's what I was just about to say.
Isaiah
Redemption for
Gonzalez,
Joker.
the Animals starting, let's say, not normal, they're starting tight end. IG Live, he is out today. You can see him in the darker brownish, greenish, whatever color that is, hoodie. He's been making his verbal presence known, but it's been Joker's presence at tight end filling in for him, showing why he's been a decade vet in this league.
He's using
Here's
that veteran
Tender again.
status. Tender throwing out in space. Looks like there's some miscommunication on those routes.
Yeah, the pressure got to Tender, got to his arm. He wasn't able to finish the throwing motion, so not even sure who he was attempting to throw the ball to, but definitely a big play by the defense there to force the incompletion. Really, to me, if BIC wants to win this game, they're doing a great job, at least right now, getting back into this game from how far they were down at one point, down 18-0 to start this game. Very rarely in the A7FL do you want to start the game by spotting your opponent 3 touchdowns. But it's really going to be the pressure on Tender that will eventually decide this one for me.
Here's
Second and
Tender.
10.
Finds
Time.
man in the middle.
Ward.
Ward held up, choked up around the 42.
And when you make accurate throws like that, even with relatively quick pressure, you're going to be able to move the sticks. And Kyle Ward has already shown why he's so valuable. Just the in route on Matt Riddick. As soon as he plants that foot and turns in, the ball is released, and Ward is going to make that catch 10 out of 10 times. First and 10.
Tender just showing off his arm today, showing off that accuracy. He's going to try it again. No good. Flag on the play.
And this time the Animals get their request answered. BIC, of course, is going to, they're going to make their
Holding.
claim.
The ref's he's gonna repeat himself. Holding. Well, all the players are trying to fight for their rep.
Well, the difference between a pass interference and a holding is A, it's only 5 yards and an automatic first down on the holding, but B, it does not have to be a catchable pass for it to be defensive holding. And Larry Wingo showing the evidence. He's like, hey, man, that guy got to cut his fingernails. You see the mark? Animals driving again this game, proving to be all that it was billed up to be. And we still have yet to find the conclusion. 4 minutes left in this third. Handoff to Ward.
Here's Ward breaking through a few tackles, stuffed up. Gains about 5 on that play.
And without Quani Morgan, who has been missing since he had the limp off the field, he already has the 4 touchdowns. I hope he can get back in this game. But if not Quani, maybe Kyle, who just gets the handoff. And the blocking is there for him to get big yardage.
And a block for himself, too, hitting the Heisman a little bit there.
And you see Q Bell, who's a wide receiver, not a linebacker. He's laughing. You know,
Great move. Look
not
at
a lot
this.
of people know that the guy making this tackle here, that tackle attempt. Oh, here's Larry Wingo again. And Trey Basketball will clean up the play. Be close to a first down. We'll bring up about a 3rd and 1 for the Animals. But again, I was talking about this play.
So
Q Bell, he gets stiff-armed. That is a man who has won an A7FL MVP. Do not throw slander on his name.
That was a serious
Ryan
stiff arm.
Paul, what are we doing?
This is one of the best stiff arms I've
That's
seen
my
in a while.
guy, Q Bell. Come on.
Very technique.
And Brona, as you will quickly find out, this is my opportunity to say that the last time Q Bell had close to a 1,000-yard season, I was his quarterback.
Okay.
Here is the handoff.
We've got some alum in the building.
Still active, still active.
Oh, sorry.
See, I basically played on all of these teams. I've thrown to a lot of these guys. If they got gray hair,
two-way contract.
Listen, if they got gray hair, I've probably thrown them at least one pass, whether offense or they've intercepted me. So another good run from Kyle Ward. And that will bring up another first down for the Animals.
Animals just been so consistent in getting upfield. They've just been really patient with each other, just inching their way, not forcing it. Tender's just staying steady, staying smooth in the decisions that he's making, relying on his weapons. It's been working so far. Here he goes again. Got some options. Down the sideline, out of bounds.
Check down to Wingo. You know, one thing that David Tender makes sure he does is he keeps the offense on pace.
Yep.
Takes what the defense can give him. He runs when he needs to, passes when he needs to, makes a lot of great decisions. And when you have the talent level that he does with the ability to make the right play, it's why they're in this game and at least offensively dominant. 2nd and 1. A first down here will make it 1st and goal. But really, BIC just wants to keep them from being able to run easily with Kyle Ward.
Here's the handoff. That was a shotgun option right there. He's going to walk it right in. Touchdown, Silk City.
And
Another
Haas
thing.
makes the motion that everybody's feeling if you're a BIC fan, player. What is going on, BIC defense? Touchdown, Animals.
Animals taking the lead again. Again, I talked to David Tender just a few days ago. He said, we not ducking nothing. We want the win bad. We want to prove that we could beat anybody.
And they've proven, at least today, with, you know, at times, I'll be honest, in their 3-game winning streak, they're not playing the best opponents. They looked, to me, mediocre at times. A Renegades team that at that point was really, you know, not well built. They barely beat them. They play the Phantoms. We saw how good the Phantoms are, but in Kentucky, and it didn't look that great. And here's the extra point, which is where they have struggled. They need this, and they get that. Kasim Perry finally catches it. David Tender takes a big hit, but pops right back up.
Perry needed that.
And that, too, is huge because they will once again bring the lead to 6. 40-34. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And here's the extra point. The championship point, because the lead is only 4 at this point until the catch, which makes it, again, a touchdown game. Without those two, Brana, if BIC scores, they're again in the lead and then could potentially stretch the lead, which is why those points matter. That 2 keeps the lead at 6. And it'll be Jason Sisson. We saw the speed and acceleration on the last attempt. This time he's going to try to find that big enough seam to maybe explode through. And the refs are done with the talking.
Doesn't look like
this may
Silk
be
City is done talking yet, though.
And this might be big, because after the delay of game, not sure what the penalty is. And this ref, after giving Sterry Codrington the flag waved off, has been argued with every single time down this field.
Well, you set the tone. You let.
Yeah, man. Don't let them think they can argue it out of you.
Exactly.
There's Will Franklin to take control. Shout outs to Will Franklin. having a nice and jovial conversation with Brian Santisteban, number 74, the manager, owner, defensive, offensive lineman for the Animals. And what would a BIC game be without a little bit of extra talking?
Refs need to take control here.
David Tender, of course, having a good time, talking to his friends. He's completely unfazed, like he's playing a game that might decide the #1 seed for this division. And as we talk about it, we'll take another quick break. Well, if you missed the throw off, so did Jason Sisson. He only gets out to the 30. Great coverage from the Animals. Only a 5-yard return from Jason Sisson, which is a great job on that 3-on-1 coverage team. But after an onslaught to get back in this game and to take the lead for BIC, once again they are down 6. 55 left in the third. But Sterry Codrington, he's done enough to keep his team in this game. But like we said earlier, eventually he's going to have to find Ashante Worthy. Here he is on the jet.
Motion, he gets it on the go.
And that's Truth.
Not much to pick up there.
Truth sets the edge, Ashante Worthy can't get past him, so the 2-yard gain will bring up 2nd and 8. Kason Campbell, top of your screen. Double tight end, GT and K-Wack.
Here's Sterry looking for the option downfield, finds him. Let's go, out of bounds.
And that zone defense that was working early for the Animals, right now it's been something that BIC's figured out. And with 3 quarters gone and 74 points total on the board, we still have an A7FL game to finish for you. Here's the throw from Sterry with pressure again in his face. Kason's way too wide open there.
BIC finally starting to find some weaknesses in the stifling defense that was keeping them really shut out this entire game, but now it's really anybody's opportunity. You see this wide open in space opportunity.
The zone was working early as a defensive strategy for the Animals, but Sterry Codrington, too much of a vet, too smart. He's been able to kind of figure out and diagnose it. And now this is a big sway in this game, because when teams have had the wind in their face, they have struggled. And once again, BIC, the wind is blowing in their face. So let's see if they can overcome the weather. But 1st and 10 after the big completion from Sterry.
Here's Sterry.
Quick
got a wide
pressure,
open Ashante,
ball's
but
down.
the pressure just too hot for Sterry Codrington.
And I'm not even sure who number 27 is, but on the last 2 plays, he gets instant pressure. And that time almost forces another turnover from Sterry Codrington, a 20-yard loss almost. Let's see, let's do the math real quick. 2, 5, 7, 10, 15-yard loss on the play.
Loses the ball, too. Very lucky that he was able to pick it up, bounce right back into his chest.
Wow. And that's 1st and 10, sitting pretty. And now 2nd and about.
The ball was just on his side.
We'll say long. We'll say.
He kind of dribbled the football there.
Well, he's lucky. It went right back into his grasp.
Very lucky.
2nd and 30.
Here, let's see if he can make it up. Can't. Number 21
he needed
to catch that.
Get that to Kason Campbell. He's wide open. If he gets that, that might even be a 1st down or more.
Campbell with a slick opportunity and just couldn't bring it in. That's going to hurt.
And that might be the wind again. You know, throwing into this wind in Asbury Park, I know firsthand, it's sometimes too much to overcome. You could see the American flag up there really blowing the air, the wind, the Asbury Park into the face of Sterry Codrington.
Coming straight off that water, too. It's chilly.
Now, BIC has the weapons, but on 3rd and 30, do they have the play call?
What's the option now?
And another unforced error.
They're going to call it.
We'll see who it's on. Ashante Worthy for sure moved, but if it was the defense moving first, well, Franklin, telling the Animals to hang on.
Everybody's got to speak their case anytime a whistle is blown.
At least in this game.
They got the jury and the judge here.
False start offense and another 5 yards back for BIC, not making it easy on themselves.
The penalties just stacking up for BIC. It's literally been their kryptonite today.
And after one heck of a third quarter for BIC. They start this fourth already 12:42 and ticking down. Down 6. They're going to need one heck of a third down call to get this 3rd and 35.
Whew. 3rd and 35.
But the Animals can't be too aggressive here because we've seen Sterry get it himself.
They're going to bring the pressure, of course.
There's Kason.
Here's Kason.
Makes
See
the
if he
first
can
man
make
miss,
it
and he's
up.
got some space, but just too much to ask for
A
on
bunch
3rd and
of
35.
black and silver jerseys not going to let him make up that 35. Not at all.
Well, he does manage to get about 22. And I don't think BIC goes for it here. They can really pin the Animals back, but they keep their offense on the field. It's 4th and 14. I don't think that this is the right move. The field position that you could potentially get from throwing the ball out of bounds and pinning the Animals down low. I mean, this is a decision that kind of shows me that the BIC has more confidence in their offense maybe than they do in their defense. 4th and 15.
Nothing to lose, it seems. Here they
K-Wax
go.
wide open, but he's not going to be able to get the yards after the catch he needs. And a turnover on downs for BIC, and the Animals, they feel like they're getting momentum back in this game.
Silk City, they knew what they had to do to stop a big conversion from BIC. They did exactly that. They pushed them all the way back. The penalty stacked up. And Silk City showing why they're undefeated.
Once upon a time, a perfect throw to K-Wack. Maybe he has the speed and the break tackle to get the first, but there, Animals stop him. So it'll be 1st and 10. Tender. Ward in the backfield. Perry on the bottom of the screen. Here's the handoff to Ward.
Here's Ward. Tries to get that stiff arm. Not much to go there.
And Isaac Negron, of the past 4 seasons, I think 3 of them, Negron has led the league in sacks, and that time he makes a big time tackle on Kyle Ward. Looked like he had a little bit of a hole to get through. And so far in this game, Brona, the Animals have been able to run the ball pretty much whenever they decided to.
Yep.
And at least on 1st down, they're going to look to try to keep that going here. But a big play from the stalwart defensive tackle to bring up 2nd and long.
Isaac Negron, that's him.
Yeah, you said it was Isaac Newton earlier. It's because he invented the sack.
I couldn't read my own handwriting.
He's
I'm so sorry,
genius.
y'all. Here's Tender. Throws it. Find his man in the middle of the field. He's going. Breaks the tackle, falls down.
And Sire Hancock
So frustrated.
saves a touchdown potentially from Wingo. But the play is made from the composure of Tender, finding his receiver in the middle of the field, steps up in the pocket, delivers an accurate throw. And where BIC felt like they were going to take control of this game, the Animals have gotten right back on offense. Their offensive line dominating.
Corey, you said it, the
And their quarterback.
composure. Composure should be Tender's middle name at this point. See the trip up. A little frustrating, but still good advantage.
And they go speed option. Forces the pitch. And
the
now
back.
Ward, he could lose
Here's
yards, but he maybe
Ward.
breaks the first tackle, has a little bit of space.
Full stutter step.
And he's able to get
Walks out of bounds.
back to the original line of scrimmage or a little bit further. Saved a big loss. It was Ole, Bell, and Haas. Number 16 almost making the play. But Ward able to keep his feet, runs across the field, and picks up 2 out of a potential nothing. But a good play from the BIC defense once again on the ground. But David Tender, right where he wants to be. 2nd and long, no big deal. I could throw it. He can also run it.
Real chill. Steps
see what
back,
he does here.
Steps forward, hands it off to his tight end again. Stuffed, though, at the line. Doesn't look like there's going to be a gain there.
Saves himself from the loss of yards on the sack, but only a completion back to the original line of scrimmage. That's Joker's, I think, 4th catch of the game. He's going to put that in the stat book.
Showing his veteran status that I'm still here. I'm a playmaker.
And why not, when you get beat on the block, just turn around and expect the ball? Tender's more than willing, but a good tackle in the open field forces the 3rd and long. The defenses so far in this 4th quarter have stepped up against these offenses that have been dominant. We'll see what Tender can do in 3rd.
Again, hot in the pocket.
And I'm not sure what the call is there. They're going to call a hold. And Kyle Ward will shake his hand after the call, holding on Kason Campbell. It's a big-time call, an automatic 1st down. They don't get the big yardage, but they do get the 1st down. The sticks move, and the Animals will convert. Even on the rare time, Tender misses. See, you know there was some kind of penalty there when you do not see Kason Campbell argue the call. It certainly happened off camera there because we don't see it at the top of the route, but it probably happened at the bottom of the route. And holding, it doesn't matter when the ball is thrown, where the ball is thrown. It's an automatic 1st for David Tender and the Animals.
Let's
at
see
the
if they
30.
take advantage of this opportunity again. Here's Tender stepping up, finding space.
And Cubrell playing the
Keeps it
spy, and he
going.
can't make the tackle.
He's still going
And
into
Tender
the
will
end
get it
zone.
across the goal line. Touchdown.
Animals, touchdown.
6-point lead is now 12.
No call, penalty, hold, it don't matter.
And the Animals,
Silk City.
not their biggest lead in the game, but maybe their most commanding.
Too smooth.
And it was Q Bell playing spy. They had the right defense called. They had a guy who should be good enough to stop Tender from making this play. But when Q Bell and David Tender are one-on-one in this spot, it's the youngster.
Another push off.
And then it's 6 from there.
And then just 4 bright blue jerseys, unable to bring down David Tender.
Of all the great games that Tender has had in his career, I think none have been better than his performance today.
Incredible.
On the ground, in the air, and in his mind, making the right decision time after time. And that's why they have a 12-point lead with a big-time conversion coming up here. They're going to go for 1 point from the 5. Still a lot of time left in this game, 7:07. The wind looks like it has died down as we get into the early evening here in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'm Corey Hammond, alongside Bronna Marks in her inaugural A7FL broadcast, and we have really given her everything today. We've
Y'all
given her the
definitely
breaks.
have. I love it here. I love it here, guys. It's so fun. It's incredible. Such an just insane amount of talent through and through, all kinds of personalities, a lot of characters, never a boring down in this league.
We've given you the highs, we've given you the lows, we've given you the lulls even.
I even had to run up the stairs during halftime, guys. I got a workout in.
Reports say you saved a kid.
I did. Somebody on BIC was a witness. He saw me save the
And
kid.
now a 2-pointer from the 10 as BIC's defense trying to save them from a 14-point deficit. Tender with trips to the left of him in the bottom of our screen.
Tender definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder. He said he's 0-2 against this team. He's not trying to leave with that today.
And Riddick
can't
swats it away
convert
again.
it.
7:07, 46 Animals, 34 BIC. And David Tender exactly where he wants to be on this Sunday. We'll get ready for a 3-on-1 throw-off brought to you by No Limit Performance Wearables, biometric shorts delivering real-time performance data. Stop with the watch thing. It really only does your pulse. You can get biosensor technology to optimize your training with, that's right, performance apparel. So scan the QR code or go to nolimit.pro to learn more. Train smarter, recover better. Perform at your peak. No Limit Performance Wearables. And if there's a readiness counter, it's at 100 for Ashanti Worthy. But are the Animals ready for what he can do on an untimed down and hypothetically erase that great drive and 6 points? The lead is 12. 7:07 left in this game.
Here's a throw. Here's Worthy, trying to make himself worthy of this cause, get his team up again, looking for a good field advantage, just being
And
brought
I don't
down.
know who that young man is in the 27 jersey, but he's made some big-time plays here in the fourth quarter. None bigger than the sack, but another big-time tackle on Ashante Worthy on a 3-on-1 scoring opportunity for BIC.
Nasty work by the Animals, nasty work.
So Sterry, he's had his triumphant moments, he's had his struggles, but for better or worse, the quarterback for BIC, the reigning MVP of this league, still has this game within striking distance. And with a big guy in bone in the backfield for protection, he has the weapons he needs of choice. Kason Campbell and Ashante Worthy at the bottom of your screen. And
Here
here's
they
1st
go.
and 10.
Ashante turns around, gets it, going for the sideline, being pulled down by his man.
Fights for
Steps out of
enough
bounds.
to get to the 42. And just like that, BIC on the move, 1st and 10 again. And they'll quickly get up to the line. Nope, they go back in the huddle. Kason Campbell talking to the Animals.
Wasting no time here getting up the field on this possession.
Talking about current movies. Everybody's excited for Super Mario Galaxy. Star Fox is in it. Millennial nerds somewhere are really excited. My kids are excited. And so is Sterry Codrington on this 1st and 10.
Ooh,
A little bit
Yeah.
of jump from Nick Mays. He goes, wahoo!
that's definitely a jump on the Animal side. Couldn't hide that one.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. No limit.pro. Sterry Codrington, 95% ready. Not sure what that 5% unreadiness is.
Looking for the touchdown. He'll be 100% when he's in the end zone.
He'll be 100% when he's at home and his team is 3-1.
That's true too. That's true too.
And they're still far from that. Down 12, 5:34, and counting. Pressure in his
goes.
face. And he gets the
Man.
ball away.
Just too fast.
The clock will not stop on incompletions until after the 2-minute warning. So BIC needs to operate with a little bit more tempo here. 5:18, back in the huddle. But 2nd and 5, really Sterry, Tender, two of the best players, best quarterbacks in this league. A classic battle that has got us to this point in the fourth quarter. 5 minutes left, 12-point difference. But really for me, Brona, it's been the offensive lines.
Yeah.
And where we've seen Sterry uncharacteristically be under pressure, it's David Tender, who's had all the time in the world when he needs it. And a big reason he's got 46 up on the board. 2nd and 5.
Here's Sterry pressure coming again.
And that time a little bit outside on the hook to Kason. Could have caught it.
Another incomplete.
But no matter who you blame it on there, it's still 3rd and 5. And what's been working for BIC really over everything else, when you break it down to its most core principles, it's spread the defense out and beat them with Sterry Codrington's legs. But you see the defense for the Animals is really playing an extra man in the box to try to stop that from happening.
Yep.
And it's forcing BIC to be more of a passing offense than maybe they want to be. 3rd down, they're going to go for it on 4th if they don't get it here. But this is still a big down. And the pressure.
Again with the pressure. No time to make his thoughts convert into what could be a completion. He has the weapons. Sterry has the weapons. He hasn't even had a chance to spin around, scramble a little bit, and make it happen on his own. He did it earlier in the game, but right now it's clutch time. This is where they need you, Sterry, and he just can't seem to have enough time to make it happen.
And on 3rd down, incompletion. We're once again on 4th. Last time BIC had this situation, it was Sterry Codrington running for the 1st. Let's see what they do here with a must-convert 4th with only 3:13 left.
Is he going to lead by example?
There's
Sterry.
quick pressure.
Pressure
Do we catch it?
again.
And they don't.
Almost
Knock
an
down
interception.
Animals. Wolverine. Weapon X. Logan. Whatever his name is. It's Ricardo Freeman. Call me McNulty, I just knocked him out. But that's a turnover on downs in the Animals with 3:03 left in this game.
Huge stop.
And a 12-point lead. They're going to take the ball. 1st and 10, only 2 timeouts for BIC to stop it.
Woo.
They're going to have to stop them in 3 and out here.
Silk City has been operating on all cylinders.
The clock
Everybody
will tick.
coming correct today.
And BIC will have the 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. They're going to have to get a stop and 3 downs here if they want to win this game. The get back on the 3-on-1 keeps this game within reach.
Tender,
and it's
easy
Derek
handoff.
Covington, their quarterback, that's out there on defense trying to win this game for them.
Said if I can't do it one way, let me try a different way.
Now, there's no real worry to throw the ball before the 2-minute warning because even on the incompletion, the clock would continue to run. And Tender, smart here, will bring it down all the way to the 2-minute warning, not letting BIC conserve that extra timeout.
Super technical decision making for the Animals today. It's really paid off for them.
So, this is the 2-minute warning. And if you want to be a part of this action, if you've got game, well, first, you got to bring a team to your city. And A7FL.com/owners, you can start that process. Where are you? Alaska, Hawaii. Heck, we could go overseas. Why not? Ryan DePaul would love that.
Global.
He would love the logistics of having a game in Wembley Stadium. So if you are from the UK, no, I'm just joking. Keep it to the United States. It's going to be a lot of airfare. But here's the deal. 2nd and 7. BIC needs to get stops and quick timeouts to get the ball back.
Tender with
but
the
first they got to tackle
handoff.
Kyle Ward.
Ward running out of bounds. Another
And
smart
that
move.
is a huge mistake from Kyle Ward. It might not cost him because it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Uh-oh.
But that saves a timeout for BIC. Holding on the Animals. And it'll be interesting because you almost, I don't know, this one's tough because you definitely benefit from losing the yardage and pushing them back. But then you get the play back, and it once again will be 2nd down, which means that the Animals will be able to run those next 2 plays. Now, you keep the timeout. The ball went out of bounds, so it'll be 2nd and extremely long. Now, BIC is kind of feeling like they're potentially back in this game, but they still need to make a stop. 2nd and 17, David Tender's laughing, but, you know, he's not in that great of a position. Maybe not as good as 3rd and 5. But whenever the Animals have needed a play, it's either been David Tender calling the play for Kwani Morgan. No. Oh, Ole, does he make the play in the backfield? And a quick timeout.
Looks like a loss of yards also.
We'll bring up 3rd and extremely long. Now, if the Animals really want to win this game, in my opinion, they got to swallow their pride because I know they want to call a pass here to try to convert it and win it. But the worst thing that can happen is an interception in this part of the field that could be brought back for a touchdown. Now, the timeout situation is kind of done. Even with 1 timeout, if the Animals ever get possession back or get the 1st down here, it's game over. But with the get back rule, a score from BIC gives them, albeit throwing into the wind, a very little slim chance, but a chance nonetheless to come back in this game. But if you're David Tender and the Animals, the last thing you want to do is give BIC the opportunity, or the lurking Matt Riddick, number 3, an opportunity to put 6 on the board without an offensive possession.
Matt Riddick has made some extremely important plays for BIC today, so you don't really want to go against him.
Not if you don't have to, but based on the lineup, it does not look like they're going to run the ball. David Tender will throw it potentially. And the ball's in the air.
Not going to complete
And
it.
incomplete, so the clock will stop. They'll be able to keep that timeout in BIC. And it'll be 4th down. Now, this will be the first time a team, unless they're crazy. This will be the first time a team will throw the ball off on a 3-on-1 in the punt situation. Again, there's no soccer players here, so you won't see anybody kick it. But the 3-on-1 team can throw the ball off like a punt to BIC. Now, the rule difference is on this type of play. They can throw the ball out of bounds. And with the wind at his back, here's Tender. And he will throw the ball out of bounds. A good play. And BIC will start in better and better field position as we go. 41. 145 left, out 12. Two-score game regardless, so they're going to have to get the get back. But at least now, BIC's offense needs to put up quick points.
They've been under pressure a lot this entire game. Now under 2 minutes, how are they going to react? They were definitely really good. Maybe at the end of that second, I believe they were under pressure and they were actually able to put down a few touchdowns, really get closer to the Animals. But now everything matters.
Yeah, and these last couple of plays, the last-ditch effort for BIC, they're staring at a 500 season in the face. Last year, going completely unscathed, undefeated the entire way. A couple of close calls, but still undefeated. This could be their second loss already.
Here's Sterry.
In 4 weeks. And they fight to keep Kason in bounds. That's number 27 again. Young man, DM me. What's your name? Because it doesn't matter. It's a big-time play again.
Number 27.
For 2-7.
Silent killer today.
And it keeps the clock running. Right back to the line of scrimmage, BIC, Sterry Codrington. And the pressure again quickly in his face.
Finds
That's Cohen.
Cohen.
Out of bounds.
Makes the clock stop.
1:06. Now they got to score. I mean, really how they score matters. But they got to score. And the quicker they score, the better they'll have if they even do get that opportunity at a get back. Sterry, 1st and 10.
Sterry looking for his man.
Checks it down again to Cohen.
In.
Can't catch it. Might even be better that's an incompletion there because they won't lose the time on the clock. But Sterry, going this direction of the field, has really been a different quarterback. Of course, it's been the pressure in his face. Animals have done an amazing job defensively. Nick Mays and co. Big plays all around. Rob Long with the interception. Wolverine on 4th down just made that play. On the last drive, 2nd and 10 here.
I'm going to try it again. Looking for at least a 1st down.
Checks it down again to Ashante Worthy. Fights for yardage.
Fighting it off.
That's Divine Epps on the tackle.
Still a good pickup. Going to make it 2nd and short.
Clock continues to tick, 40 seconds left. BIC snaps it.
Something's going on.
The whistle is blown. Will Franklin calls it dead. Clock stops at 40 left in the 4th. And they'll move it back again. Illegal procedure. The offense was not set. See at the bottom of the screen, off camera, Sterry Codrington talking to his number 1 target in Ashante Worthy.
Trying to get it done fast, but getting the penalty.
Game's still not yet over, but as we talk about the last couple of seconds, if the Animals are able to hold this out, they will take sole possession of the number 1 seed as Campbell keeps his feet.
Here's Campbell.
Makes the juke.
Looking to make something happen
forward.
down the sideline. Looking into the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Trenton BIC.
And as I was just about to say, the win conditions, if the Animals hold on, BIC closes that gap just a touch. Kason Campbell puts 6 on the board, 40-46. The extra point will matter because if BIC does get a get back and they do score, the points here are huge. Now, Kason, you see him.
Is he tired, or is this a part of the celebration?
He's tired. It's part of the celebration. I don't know. It's all of the above.
It's all of the above. Just making sure he's okay. We had an injury earlier, okay?
It just shows you.
No, too many jokey jokes.
The juke move here, Trey Cohen.
Incredible footwork.
Makes a tackle for the block. Who cares? No one's going to call it. Pulls the hezzy here on Kyle Ward. And that reach into the end zone might have hurt him. He's limping to the sideline. And with 14 seconds left, this will matter here. A 1-point conversion if they get it.
Continuing the legacy of this rivalry. Always a close game between these two teams. Always high scoring, a lot of effort.
Now, they do miss it, so a touchdown if they do get the get back, which again is a big if. The wind is not blowing as hard, but they struggled to throw it the requisite yardage before with Matt Riddick. But now the only way for BIC to win is to make a tackle on this 3-on-1 before the 20. 46-40. Subscribe, join, comment, notification bell. Do all the things to help out the A7FL for free. Or you can go to youtube.com/the A7FL to join and never miss any of the hard-hitting, big-time, no pads action. Last chance for BIC to lose their second game of the 2026 season. A defensive run of their championship last year in Jackson, New Jersey. Matt Riddick knows he's got to put everything he's got into this one.
He's done it all for his team so far.
And he'll get as much as he can, but it won't even reach the requisite 25. And that's a wrap. Because he's going to start at the 25 with the ball in hand.
They're going to talk it out, though.
And unless Kyle
They're
Ward
definitely gonna
runs
talk it out.
backwards, of course. Brawna knows how this goes.
I've learned very quickly.
But here's the deal. The way this ruling is he'll get the running start from the 25 if he chooses to. Now, if he runs backwards and out of bounds, BIC can get the ball back. Otherwise, they can't. And yeah, I mean, we all saw it.
They're
Thank you,
singing a
Ryan,
song
for the replay,
already,
just to
though.
remind us. But in case anyone was wondering, that's all she wrote. And big upset Sunday, at least so far today. Started with the Phantoms over the #1 seed U. And with that loss, the Animals win. Gives them sole possession of #1 seed in the Eastern Conference for a great game of football, a great day of football. And for myself, Corey Hammond, Brawna Marks, and our booth, this has been the A7FL Week 4 Game of the Week. And if you want to be part of this league, go to a7fl.com/owners. Next week, we'll have more action for you as we wrap this one up. BIC 40, Silk City Animals 46. And David Tender, he made good on that promise. Silk City's for real, ladies and gentlemen. What does the rest of the league have to say to that? We'll find out next week on Games of the Week. We'll see you then.